Alright, how you doing? Welcome to Rappin' Nature. I'm David, and on this channel I pay homage to nature and the ancients. Following my profound experiences in Egypt, I've been on a life-changing and spiritual quest. I explore megaliths, sacred landscapes, and the powerful connection between nature and the ancients. I hope you're able to join me on my journey and subscribe to Rappin' Nature. Cheers! Alright, how are you doing? So I'm very happy and grateful to be in Spain today. It's an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful morning. I am in the Extremadura region of Spain and here at Asena de la Borrega. Excuse the Spanish pronunciation as I probably absolutely murdered that. This is a route whereby there's up to 5 dolmens, I believe, and there's also Barroco della Data or Data, which is actually a national monument, a group of rock formations. So absolute heaven for me, dolmens and rock formations. So really happy to be here, Gaia and I. So let's make our way there. So it got started on the trip, Gaia and I think I might have got a wee bit ahead of myself when I took Guy off the leash. I was in two minds whether to include this in the video, but as I always say, megaliths, it's all about the journey, and this journey got off to a wee bit of a musing and a wee bit of a false start as we came across a couple of chicken fellows here, much to Gaia's excitement. Here we go. Come on, Gaia, it's okay. Come on. No. Gaia! 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 She's gone. Gaia! So there we go. Start of this megalithic trip, and Gaia's bolted it, so I'm going back to where I started. She's disappeared. Chased the chicken, she's done the old rocky training. Oh, where is she? And disappeared. Gaia! Come here! Gaia! Come here! Gaia! Come! Come here! Come here. What are you doing? Come here. There we go. We're back on track. After a wee bit of persuasion, she was in someone's garden, a fence around it. We're back on track. So I absolutely love coming to the Extremadura region in Spain. I live in Cascais in Portugal, near Lisbon, so it's about 3 hours drive from where I live. And we've got another wee chicken fellow down there, so Gaia's going to go absolutely mental in a second, so I'll just keep her on the leash. But this is really quite a beautiful part of Spain. The granite rock formations I'm definitely drawn to, and if you look at the old Spain playlist on YouTube there, you'll see some of the other sites I've been to across Spain, but also specifically within the Extremadura region. I love coming to Extremadura. I think it's one of Spain's hidden treasures. This is a rugged, ancient and sparsely populated region in the west and of the Iberian Peninsula. It's bordering Portugal. Extremadura is rich in its history, and there's, this history here is stretching back thousands of years. There you go. It has a very dense concentration in megalithic monuments. It's home to what must be like hundreds of dolmens, menhirs, cromlechs in Extremadura,
You know, and Extremadura has really rich granite outcrops. You know, I'm definitely attracted to the stones. And I always say I'm absolutely rubbish at pronouncing the names of these places I go to in Spain and Portugal. But when I come to places like Extremadura, I definitely feel very connected to the land here, you know?
1.3 kilometers. Dolmen de la Borrega. So we're going to do the Dolmens Data I and II first. So let's go. So we're heading to, there's two dolmens first. I think Dolmen Data I and II. And this landscape is beautiful. That's one thing I always notice when I come to these places, is the landscape, and imagining that prehistoric landscape. This is very lush and green. In Extremadura region, the granite outcrops that I've seen are incredible. So it was clearly a rich outsource of granite for the megaliths, for the ancients. But as I always say, they saw, I believe, the planet as a living entity. And these stones, I believe, were imbued with the telluric currents of the earth. And then when granite was placed under pressure, you have the piezoelectric effect. And that's the magic. They venerated these stones. And these stones they were able to harness the power of nature. It's all about nature. Megaliths, for me, it's all absolutely about nature. They worked in harmony and partnership with nature for a physical return. They worked with nature to build these megaliths, and nature guided these people to where to build these megaliths. It's all, everything's connected. It's all absolutely connected to nature as far as I'm concerned. The colours here are amazing. It's a beautiful place.
I was really looking forward to seeing Barocco della Data, which is these hills absolutely filled with granite stones and massive big boulders. This is we'll see soon, is an ancient landscape which hasn't changed for millennia. The stones at Barocco della Data are incredibly ancient and up to 300 million years old.
So this is my first time to this part of Extremadura, to these megaliths, so I'm seeing it for the first time with you. And seeing if I'm on the right path as well. And megalith hunting, as I always say, is about the journey as much as it is about the destination, and if you actually get to that destination. Google Maps will only take you so far. I'm not using Google Maps at the moment. I'm just following my nose, following my path, following Gaia. See where it takes us. But it's that journey, what you see, smell, hear, feel, experience on the way to that megalith. And it's different every time, and it's, you know, I become a collector of experiences and memories from every place I go to. And you remember certain bits of that day or journey, you know what I mean? And this one I'll remember the sounds of the birds singing. Gaia chasing that chicken. I'll remember this heat and these lush green colours.
So as we head to Dolmen's Data I and II, start to walk up the hill here, I was starting to feel the heat a wee bit, to be fair. I think Gaia was starting to struggle a wee bit as well. But as we started to walk up this hill, I was starting to get a glimpse of some of these huge stones and boulders up on the hill here, Barocco della Data. You know, these stones are up to 300 million years old, and over millions of years, these stones, through erosion and water and thermal weathering, have sculpted this granite into these amazing and crazy boulders. And again, wherever I go somewhere, I'm always attracted to the stones, and I think it was the same with the ancients. You know, they were attracted to these stones. They saw the earth as alive, and I think these stones were the first megaliths.
Starting to feel the heat now. Too hot for a Scotsman. I'm hoping I'm going in the right direction. I'm certainly heading towards stones, that's for sure. I can see some bad boy boulders up on the hills here. Let's have a look up here. Let me show you. I don't know where you can see that, but starting to see some amazing rock formations. So this Ascena della Borrega, and here in Spain, the Extremadura region, this route, it has a route, and there's, I believe, up to five dolmens in close vicinity to each other. It's a 7 or 8 kilometre hike or trek around this route, and there's also this Barocco della Data, which are apparently some amazing looking rock formations. So hoping to see all of this, and you can't beat a cluster of megaliths, of dolmens built in the same area. You get a lot of that in Portugal, and certainly you do in Spain. One of the places I've been to in the Extremadura region is the Zafra Dolmens. There's up to 4 amazing dolmens there in a route. That's one of the videos I've got on my Spain playlist. Have a look at that. But I think I'm getting closer to the dolmen as we're passing these incredible rock formations.
These granite outcrops were clearly a great source of building material for the ancients. It's really, as I explore this place more, and it's quite otherworldly seeing these hills of stone, and then when you go to each of the individual dolmens, we'll see the backdrop, the landscape. It's absolutely amazing. Whenever I go on my trips, I always try and put myself into that Neolithic mindset. You know, how would a prehistoric person view the land, these boulders, through prehistoric eyes, you know, on the basis that I believe the ancients saw the earth as a living entity. You know, these massive, round, balanced boulders would really stand out to them. You know, even natural megaliths in their own right, I think they saw them as alive, as powerful, as even sacred.
As I approach these tree and the stones behind me. I feel myself walking back in time. This landscape hasn't changed for millennia. This is why I love coming to this part of Spain. I have a connection to this place, no doubt about it. Wow. Wow, look at this. Amazing. All these rocks and boulders up here, incredible. Okay, so there we go. So here's Dolmen Data I and II. It says hunting. During the Paleolithic period, 2.5 million to 12,000 years BC, human groups were nomadic, always following the trail of animals to hunt, which provided them with protein they needed to subsist. And there's the path there. So you can pause it. Datas I, Datas II. So Datas I, polygonal chamber, short corridor, granite. This dolmen is formed by a long polygonal chamber and a short granite corridor with a maximum height of 2.5 meters and a diameter of 3.9 by 3 meters. The chamber is made up of 5 large orthostats and a series of smaller pieces that ensure the position of the former. May I approach?
Data I here is a beauty. This dolmen is thought to be up to 6,000 years old. As I always say, I take these dates with a pinch of salt. We can never say with absolute certainty. This dolmen has a kind of polygonal chamber and a short corridor leading up to it. The chamber is made up of 5 large orthostats and it's missing its capstone. Such a great experience coming to these places, you know, experiencing the land, seeing these landscapes, putting yourself in that Neolithic mindset, and then going to the megaliths themselves and connecting with the stones. You know, I always say this is a journey I'm on, and you know, my views and thoughts on megaliths it's a gradual thing, it's a learning thing for me. As I start to get a sense and feeling of what I believe are the purpose of megaliths, and certainly with dolmens. That's a separate video. When I get the time, I'll need to put together. But dolmens for sure. I've been to hundreds of dolmens now. It's one of the most common megalithic structures across the planet with dolmens. And you know, for me, dolmens, you know, they're associated as funerary monuments, tombs, but for me, I think it's actually the polar opposite. These are a place for the living, for life, for the continuation of life and survival.
So I'm now sitting inside the chamber of Dolmen Data I, and the heat is quite something now for both Gaia and I. Guy's in the shade in the corner, this chamber, and it's really quite nice. The grass is growing, very natural feel to it, and this chamber is missing the capstone, which is over there where I had a mound. This this dolmen, and there's what looks like 1, 2, 3, 5 main orthostats. With this stone at the back here is huge, absolutely massive. But it's this location with these massive rock formations nearby. This is an incredible place. I'm certainly drawn to it. The ancients would have been as well, and clearly a ready source of building material for these dolmens. You okay, Gaia? I just gave her some water. So we'll head on shortly to Dolmen Data II and see what that one's like. And after that we'll need to find somewhere to hide in the shade for a bit, because this heat is unreal. But such a great experience coming here in amongst the nature and the grass, sitting inside this chamber here. It's amazing. So at the rear of this dolmen we have this stone here. I don't think this is the capstone, I think this is one of the orthostats by the looks of it. What can we see from this side? That's an amazing dolmen, and we can see here the passageway leading up to the dolmen. Perhaps this is the part of the capstone. Amazing.
So Dolmen Data II is very close by. It's around 90 metres from Data I.
That's so soft. Let's go, Gaia. See if we can find this Dolmen Data II. And these stones, this backdrop is incredible. An ancient landscape. Is this it here? I'm sure. This is absolutely gorgeous here. It's like I'm literally stepping back in time on another planet. Okay. Wow. Look at this. Unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this nature. The ancients repping nature. That's what it's all about here. Look at these stones leading up to the passageway to this chamber, but also these trees next door. Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely love this dolmen. It's got a circular chamber. It's framed by 7 orthostats, which are upright. And it's just really the setting, obviously the amazing granite boulders and the hills, but you know, these two strange looking trees behind it, and it's surrounded by this covered with this grass and the fern here. It's a beautiful spot.
Wow, this is amazing. Look at this. The birds flying there. These trees. Kind of keeping an eye on this dolmen. These massive, this rock formation, this stone landscape. Absolutely love it. So these are the stones next to the dolmen. Perhaps these were part of the orthostats surrounding the chamber, or they were, you know, it was a wall leading passageway. Part of it could be the capstone. This stone here is absolutely huge. So I don't think these are natural. Perhaps these were part of the megalith. What an incredible dolmen this is. There you go.
Dolmens for me are more than tombs and a place of death. They're energetic chambers. They're connected with the land. They're connected with nature and the earth. We're not giving these people the credit they deserve, you know, by labelling these as funerary monuments, or they were superstitious. You know, they were finely tuned with the planet, with nature, connected, grounded with the earth. And one of my key learnings, or one of my many learnings, is there's nothing random about these megaliths. You know, they're all built with massive intent. There's a few things I've learned which I'll share with you is, you know, for me, the shapes of megaliths are quite key. So stone circles and spirals and dolmens. You know, when I think of stone circles, I think of a container or a cauldron. It's containing energy within that space, like a, you know, that cyclical or that feminine or creative space within that cauldron. And when I think of dolmens, I think of its energy. It's been held within that space, held within that space from the capstone to the earth, to the ground. There's energy there. And I think dolmens and stone circles and megaliths, you know, there's spatial intelligence to these structures. These structures don't just mark the land, but actually, for me, they shape energy, emotion, and consciousness. The other things I find quite telling with megaliths and dolmens is where they're positioned. Again, I don't get any sense that these are random places. You know, they're positioned very, very specifically. And it's also the material they used, you know, granite containing quartz.
Mellizo.
Again, for me, there's a reason behind that. And the way that these megaliths are aligned in terms of to the stars, solstices, you know, again, this time and location, resonance, there's absolutely nothing random there. It's all done for me with intent. There's a significance behind it on the basis of a physical return.
trees are giving us a bit of shade here now. Whew. Look at that huge stone there. Wow, look at that. I'm going to have to try and climb up to that if I can. Amazing. These massive stones are incredible, like giant marbles that have been placed there. Amazing. Let's see if we can walk up there a wee bit maybe. Let's go to the dolmen first.
This landscape was really an attack of the senses. It's a feast on the eyes. I mean, look at this massive boulder up on the hill there. Just really seeing it. And again, just thinking what it would have been like to be here, you know, thousands of years ago. It was also by now really starting to struggle and, you know, struggle with the heat, you know. And I think Gaia was really struggling. I'd brought a kind of a litre and a half bottle of water with me, but by this point it was it was almost finished, and I was conscious that I wanted to or needed to get back.
So here we go, Natural Monument Barocco della Data. It occupies an area of about 30 hectares and is framed in the geologically called Nysa Albuquerque batholith. It is an elongated granite mass dating back 284 million years. Since then, the erosion caused by meteorological agents has created an impressive landscape in which the human being has been installed for thousands of years. This granite environment led to the creation of the megalithic culture characteristic of the border area between Spain and Portugal. Just 9 kilometres from the border with Portugal, in addition to this natural monument, we find dolmens such as Cajirón I and II, El Mellizo, and Datas I and II. So Datas I and II we've been to, El Mellizo we're going to now. Okay, Gaia, and then Cajirón. Let's see if we can find that one as well. Come on, good girl. So we're approaching Dolmen El Mellizo. I can see it across this field. There's some hay bales there, but actually these granite hills behind us, I don't think I've seen anything like it in terms of the location of this dolmen. It's just absolutely out of this world. There's some incredible stones up the top of the hill there. I'm going to see if we can climb up there, depending on how the time and the heat. We get to see these other two dolmens, but this is just phenomenal. This is an ancient landscape, and just really imagine being at this site. This hasn't changed. This hasn't changed for millennia. We've got a kind of walls and a field here, but those granite formations behind us, Been there for millions and millions of years. So we're here. Amazing. I wasn't sure if I was going to find it. And hopefully there's no bulls here, because that's not going to work with Gaia. Let's see if we can make our way in. Funerary rites. The dolmens in the area around Barocco della Data date from between the 4th and 3rd millennium BC. They are an example of the human interest in marking their territories and of the progressive concern for the afterlife and for a possible existence after death. So I'll read from this Mellizo. It's one of the most ancient dolmens known in Valencia de Alcantara. It's referred to with different names: Asena Borrega, Anta della Marquesa, Data III, or Mellizos. Excuse the pronunciation. It is a chamber with short corridor orientated towards the east and located at natural height, being remarkable in the group of granitic outcrop in the area. Amazing. So let's go. Oh wow. May I approach? Wow, this is amazing. Incredible. Look at the size of that capstone. And these orthostats, absolutely huge. This is very, very impressive, this dolmen. Wow. It's nice and cool in here. So inside the massive chamber of this Mellizo, this dolmen is definitely a highlight of this route. It's absolutely incredible. I can feel the echo there, so there's a wee bit of acoustic action going on here. And this one's still got the capstone. I'm gonna lie down in the centre of this dolmen in a second. But this one is very well intact. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 massive orthostats with this huge, absolutely massive capstone. I don't know in terms of the weight of this capstone, but at least 10 tons I would have thought. And then our Gaia is there. Gaia, come here. we have this passageway almost. We can see it there. And that reminds me of Tapado and Tapado, I think that's how you say it in Portugal, which again is an absolutely massive dolmen, but the passageway leads into the chamber. It's very similar style as this, and Gaia's like sitting there like the Great Sphinx. It's very cool in here. Hear the birds. But these stones are phenomenal, the size of these stones. Actually mind blowing to think how they moved them. And this capstone. So the dolmens in this area are up to 5,000 to 6,000 years old, if not older. It could well be older. And there's one other dolmen to see, Cajirón, I think that's how you say it, Cajirón I and II. But passing these granite outcrops on these hills, these granite hills, it's like you're on another planet. It's very surreal. This place has been untouched for millennia. And these ancient man-made structures next to these granite outcrops. Phenomenal. So it's quite mucky here, but I think I'm gonna have a wee lie down. See what I feel. But also look up at the capstone as well. So let me turn this around. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, Gaia.
This dolmen's absolutely incredible. It's very impressive. Definitely a highlight of this trip, of these 5 dolmens. The capstone still intact. I mean, the capstone is absolutely massive, but you know, this just feels very, very functional, very connected with the land, with nature, you know, and really built in harmony with nature. You know, when I'm here and coming to this megalith, you know, going to dolmens in general, you know, it just feels, you can still feel that intent, the purpose behind it, you know.
So this dolmen, Mellizo, is amazing, absolutely amazing. Could spend a lot longer here. So there's 2 other dolmens remaining on this path, Cajirón, I think that's how you say it, 1 and 2. So we're going to make our way there again, see if we can find it. and then, depending on time, see if I can climb up to these rock formations. Ready, Gaia? Shall we keep going? I think she might be struggling in the heat a wee bit, so let's go. Cajirón I and II are the next two dolmens on this incredible route.
So by now I was keen to push on and see these other two final dolmens, Cajirón I and II, on this route. I was very conscious of the heat, as in Gaia I think was struggling a wee bit as well. And I didn't have much water left, which I was kind of conscious of having to make my way back.
Here we go, Dolmen Cajirón. Dolmen de Valencia de Alcantara. What an amazing place this is. So we've done Mellizo, now Dolmen Cajirón. 800 meters, it says 1 and 2. 1.2 kilometers. So let's go. Okay, Gaia. These boulders, stones everywhere. Hills of stone. It's an incredible place. An ancient place. Very sacred landscape this. So, two remaining dolmens, Cajirón I and II. We'll need to take shelter in the shades of the chambers, if there is capstones, and get out of this heat for a bit. Okay, what we got here? Cajirón I, 250 metres, 250 metres, we're close. Look at these stones. I don't know how well you can see it on the video. Let's zoom in a wee bit. Up here. That's properly zoomed in, right? Okay. It emerged at the beginning of the Neolithic periods, when a more temperate climate and the decline of hunting and gathering foods made humans more sedentary. Agriculture was and is the basis of the world's food supply. See Cajirón I. Butterflies. Oh wow. Wow. Cajirón I, so again you can pause that. In the meantime, it's thought to date from the 4th to the 3rd millennium BC. Granite, short corridor in a worse state of preservation than that of the Datus or the one of Mellizo, which we've just been to, due to the pushing of the farming machinery. The chamber has around 3 meters of diameter. Together with Cajirón II, they are the closest monuments to the cultivable lands of the Jola group of monuments. It was observed the chamber with 7 orthostats and its displaced deck besides the short corridor. The consolation made by the government of Extremadura in the 90s could not set again the chamber deck. Well, a piece of magic and ancient history right there. Gaia's taking shelter. Look at this, amazing. And this one's being supported. I like how again, these are overgrown. And you can't really sit in this chamber. Again, very raw, which adds to the charm. I think heat might be too much for Gaia. Can I go around this way? The stone here, perhaps this was the capstone. Or one of the orthostats. So Cajirón I, again, very raw, in a ruinous state, but as much as anything, it's the journey to get here. And this landscape with these incredible granite hills, Barocca della Data, and this dolmen itself, anything up to 6,000 years old. Amazing. And right behind us there, you got some goats just chilling out under that tree there. So that's Cajirón I. I think we'll have a wee stop and have something to drink, and then Gaia and I will head to Cajirón II. Okay, Cajirón II. This is the last dolmen on this path.
So with Cajirón II, just to see as the final dolmen in this route, I was really quite keen to see it. Cajirón I is in a ruinous state, very raw, but definitely got a load of presence and connected with nature. So really curious to see this final dolmen and this incredible path. This really is an incredible location and landscape and setting. Going to each of these dolmens, I was really, looking forward to seeing this final dolmen on this path. As I've mentioned, this landscape hasn't changed for millions of years. Barocco della Data, these granite stones are up to 300 million years old. There's been humans have occupied this area for thousands and thousands of years.
Okay. Cajirón II. This way. This is the final dolmen. And this backdrop is unbelievable. We got a path here. Fire. So we began to be used accidentally 1.5 million years ago. We learned to create it 400,000 years ago. Fire was used to heat and illuminate, but it was also used to cook food, make it more digestible and improve nutrition, thus accelerating their development as a species. Let's go. Come on, Gaia. Almost there. Love this path as we make our way to this dolmen. This rocky path. I can see it. Amazing. That's a wee beauty, this one. Smaller, this one. Again, you can pause that to read a bit more. This one still got the capstone, so Gaia and I will be staying in here for a wee bit for some shade. Again, see the stones on either side leading up to the chamber. It's nice to see the capstone still intact, and the colours on the granite there. This one's a wee beauty, I like this one. Up here, may I approach? So we're sitting inside the chamber of this Cajirón II. The heat is quite something. I think it's maybe too much for Gaia. So I think we'll stay in this chamber for a wee bit, rest, and then make our way back. But this one's amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 orthostats. You can see the stones of the passageway, and then this really nice intact capstone. Now this dolmen's really nice. So there we go, 5 dolmens, Ascena de la Borrega, here in the Extremadura region of Spain, the route. Absolutely incredible. Now, Gaia and I will now need to make it back to the car. I don't think she wants to leave there. I've been giving her lots of water on the way. But this heat is something else. So as always, I hope I was able to give you a sense for it. You'll never truly feel the heat when you're watching this video, but hopefully you got a sense for this incredible ancient granite landscape. And these dolmens, these 5 dolmens, each of them up to 6,000 years old, within relatively close vicinity to each other. Incredible. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. Please give us a wee like, comment and subscribe to Rep in Nature. Alright, nice one. Cheers.